Hey guys, welcome back to the Summer Film Brewcast. This is actually a special episode, bonus episode, because last time when we went to Endeavor Brewing, we met Scott Talmage, and he talked about a lot of his beers, but he also told us some really cool stories about his life in general. Our friend Katie asked him a whole bunch of questions. It didn't really fit into the last episode, but I kind of wanted to make something just a bonus episode, so you can listen to it if you wanted to. So, with no further ado, listen to this conversation. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a random question?
Yeah.
What did you think you were going to be when you grew up? When you're a little kid, when I grow up, I'm going to be...
That's a really good question. So, I'm a total nerd, and I've always loved literature. So, my dream job would be to be a writer, and I think I always thought that. So I studied literature and biology in college. I was a high school literature teacher for a few years. I taught at the British International School in Santiago, Chile for a few years too. I'm in a men's adult literary book club, and we get together, we meet here sometimes, we drink beer, and we read.
I can take that out of the podcast, by the way. We don't need to put it in there.
Yeah.
Wait, you're making how many Swansea fans there are, and you're in men's adult
I know, man. I'm a total nerd. For a while in college, I'm also a big, adventure explorer. I'm a climber, so I climb mountains internationally. I'm a mountaineer. I love my motorcycle and taking motorcycle trips on it. For a while, I thought maybe I'd go into outdoor education, teaching people how to climb and be mountain guides and all that kind of stuff.
That's what it is.
You're like the least boring human alive. What's that like?
I don't know. I mean, I like what I like, and I'm not afraid to do it, so to speak.
Where have you climbed at, out of curiosity?
So let's think. I've actually climbed several of the 7 summits. So I've climbed Kilimanjaro, Tanzania, Aconcagua, border of Chile and Argentina. I've climbed in the Himalayas of northern India. I've climbed Denali in Alaska. Climbed a lot in the Andes. Climbed in Scotland. Climbed some in Europe. I spent a long time in Colorado, so tons of climbing there. Pacific Northwest, Rainier, North Cascades, all over the place. Really enjoy that. What's that?
What part of Rainier? So there's the south side, the non-technical side, which is pretty easy. What?
Yeah, standard keyhole route. So I've only climbed Rainier once, and it was the keyhole.
Did you have a good summit when you were there?
Yeah, it was actually a gorgeous day. So I was there, I want to say about 2010 or so. So we went there. I actually did that so my grandmother had recently passed away from Alzheimer's. And I had a grandfather affected by it as well. So I started a little Alzheimer's charity with a buddy of mine, and we climbed a few mountains to raise funds for Alzheimer's research. So that was that was the first peak we climbed, actually. So we got a group of guys together. We went out to Rainier, roped up, and climbed a pretty straightforward route there. But we got up from Camp Muir. So you do your approach to Camp Muir, camped out there. And then we went up to where most people will spend a night and then do a morning summit. And we got up there around midday. There was no weather coming in. It was absolutely spotlessly gorgeous. So we did it, we took it, we summited. We were in long sleeve, long underwear on the summit of Rainier and beautiful sunshine. It's a really cool finish to that, and up on top, it's basically a big crater basin. It's just, and you have to cross the whole thing to get up to the actual high peak on the far side of the rim around it. It was just gorgeous, not a cloud in the sky.
Was it August? When did you go?
It was summertime. I want to say June or July. So it was. Problem is when you get too late in the season, the cracks start getting a lot bigger. So crevasse. A lot more visible, so you want it to be late enough so the weather's better, but at the same time so you can actually traverse those crevasses. So if they're too wide, you can't get across them sometimes, or you gotta have ladders and weird things. And you just kind of follow your standard routes.
Oh, that's so cool. I've been in Seattle for 3 years, so Rainier is on my list. I want to do it. I just did Mount St. Helens, I was there, Mount Adams, but
very cool. Yeah, gotta go to Baker. Have you been to the North Cascades, inside?
Yeah, I haven't done anything crazy there, just little hikes.
That's awesome. I'll show you. I actually just sent a picture out the other day.
No, hey, it's fine. It's fine. Do whatever you want. We've been talking about beer forever, so we can talk about mountains now.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
So that's
I love it so
El Dorado
much.
Peak in the North Cascades, which is, that whole
That's
basin
ridiculous.
is amazing. The
That's such a
approach
good
and the
day.
descent is a bitch to get in there, but once you're in there, you're just like tag, and you can do amazing climbing up there. That's coming down from the summit of Kilimanjaro. Oh, that's from the side of Kilimanjaro. That is El Plomo in Chile. It's like a 17,500 foot peak right outside Santiago. That's my friend Juan Pablo. Let's see, they both have the same exact pack on. One's Nick and one's... And they have the same boots. They're both rocking Spandex and the South Cold hat by Mountain Hardware. And blue jackets, so I don't know which is which. But Juan Pablo actually missed my wedding because he summited Everest
What?
4 days before we got married, and
Oh my
I got
God.
a text the day before my wedding from Advanced Base Camp on the Tibetan side of Everest that he wasn't going to be able to make the wedding after all because they were summiting a little later than planned. It was not too bad. He's a Chileno that I know from time down in South America. Fun stuff. Very cool.
What's your
Awesome.
wife like? I'm just curious.
My wife is awesome. So she's
Great answer.
She's the girl.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
On tape, it's official. No, she's the girl that I had been planning a drive for a year to drive from Alaska to Patagonia and kind of do that in my pickup truck. And we had been dating for honestly not all that long. And I was like, would you be interested in maybe coming with me? And she was like, yeah. And quit her job, hopped in the truck, and we drove from Columbus, Ohio up to Alaska. When I met my friends Juan Pablo and Nick and Fenya, Mo from Germany, and our other friend from Brazil, we climbed Denali together, and she did a 14-day mountaineering class in Alaska while we were climbing Denali.
Wow.
And then we drove up the Dalton Highway, drove down to Panama, spent 4 months touring around South America. I mean, and she's all in for it. Really cool, really loud. She definitely is honest to a fault and calls me out on a lot of my bullshit, which is really nice. She's not afraid to put me in my place when necessary. And I really love having her in my life, and I appreciate her honesty and her heart. She actually does all of our charity coordination work here out of Endeavor. She's really all about other people, and she really genuinely cares. And so when we were talking about getting more involved and opening this up and rebranding it, that's the first thing she wanted to do was really kind of direct a charity program and make a push for kind of giving back to the community around her. So I'm really proud of her for doing that, and she's starting to do some really cool things, and we got a lot of really cool stuff planned, and we hope to do more and more and more and more as much as possible with as many of the local charities as we can. I mean, it's just the right thing to do, and it's a good thing. So.
How'd you meet her? This is not beer related at all. I'm hijacking the conversation. Sorry.
This is a separate podcast.
So the crazy thing is that
It's quarter time with Katie.
Meg, she's from Lancaster, Ohio. She went to Fisher Catholic. I went to Grandview. Our schools played each other in sports, but she's a little younger than I am, so we didn't know each other or anything like that. We met in Denver, Colorado. I was out there for Great American Beer Festival years ago, and she was wearing an Ohio State shirt. And I said, OH. And she said, I-O, how'd you know I'm from Ohio? Because you're wearing a Buckeyes shirt. And we started talking, and we're both from Central Ohio, and it was just pretty crazy. It's sort of a small world. Yeah. And she's a great mother. We have our kid. And
What's your child's name?
So because of the trip that we took early on, we drove from Alaska to Patagonia. Denali is the mountain in Alaska. I'm showing my wedding ring here, by the way. On the front side of it is a an engraved Denali. And on the back side of it is a peak in Patagonia that is Cerro Fitzroy. So symbolically, that kind of connected our story of connecting two continents and two people and everything. So we named our son Fitzroy after the mountain in South America. It's also, if you look on that wall, our assistant brewer is a talented artist, and he's in process of making a mural. That is Cerro Fitzroy. And if you think about the Patagonia label, that is actually Cerro Fitzroy in the background as well. And the crazy thing is this. So we decided we're going to name him Fitzroy. Fitz and Fitzy, cute nickname too. And so he was born on July 5th. And the next day, my mom came to the hospital. We didn't tell anyone his name until here's Fitzroy, because we don't want people complaining, you know, or telling us it's a bad name. Yeah. Because once he's born, they're not going to complain. It's cute. Yeah. So my mom came back to the hospital next morning, and she's like, so I looked up Fitzroy on Wikipedia. And so we knew that the mountain itself was actually named after Admiral Fitzroy, who was the captain on the Beagle, which was Darwin's ship when he did his tour. So we're both like scientific biologists-y, so we're awesome, like naming the mountain after the admiral of the ship that Captain Darwin when he developed the theory of natural selection. The crazy thing though is that my mom was like, I looked up Admiral Fitzroy. Did you know that he was born on July 5th? 1805 or whatever it was? And we're like, actually no, I had no idea. So they share the same birthday. That's totally coincidence, but we can kind of pretend like we planned it. So please erase that part of the podcast. We'll pretend like it was purely planned.
So that was a little bonus time that we had with Scott Talmage over at Endeavor Brewing. Thank you again, Scott, for sitting down with us and answering all of our intrusive questions. Also, thank you to Andy Shaw for letting us use his song again, Ohio. Check him out at andyshawband.com. And until next time, beep, boop, bop, beer.